is Fashion Arts and Media. I'm Lydia Cutler, and today with me is an amazing costume designer, fashion designer, and I've had an opportunity of working with her. That's why I'm saying she's amazing, and she is. Welcome, tell us your name and tell us your story.
My name is Claire Garvey, and I'm an Irish fashion designer. So I've basically been in fashion all my life. I'd be unemployable in anything else. So I've had my own shop for 20 years now, and I finally, 20 years. I finally bought it 2 years ago. So thank God I bought it before all the COVID chaos.
Wow.
So, yeah. I had Nile Rodgers actually flew in and cut the ribbon of the shop, which was incredible. Who
was that?
Nile Rodgers from Chic.
Wow.
Yeah, so
amazing.
He came and cut the ribbon 2 years ago, and we celebrated in the shop, and it was almost like a dream to see him there with the girls from Chic. And he's worn my stuff at the Oscars and the X Factor and Bette Midler Party, and he's been an incredible, support to me over the years. Sometimes I pinch myself when I think of things that have happened from when I started. So
you're going to tell us more about that, but first of all, tell us, are you based in Dublin?
I'm based in Dublin. I have a shop in Temple Bar, which is, well, it's normally the heart of Dublin, and it's full of buzz and excitement. At the moment, it's not, unfortunately, but I think we'll be back from lockdown in about 2 weeks' time. So I got a grant initially 20 years ago to consider opening my own shop there, and they brought in artisans and different creatives. So that was a big move at the time, and I was supplying shops before that, but I decided to bite the bullet and go and try and make it on my own. So,
amazing.
Yeah.
So in total, when did you started the commercial fashion design, or can I call you an artist or a fashion designer or a costume designer?
Whatever you like. I don't even know what I am. So
right.
I mean, a lot of people would probably think I'm costume. I probably consider myself fashion. Like, I would wear the pieces I create every day, probably going shopping, and other people mightn't wear them. They're very theatrical, I suppose, but I think of them as everyday clothes. So.
Oh, great. So when did you start? When did you think you wanted to do this?
When I was 7 years old, after I was always drawing, and I sent pictures of my work to Mary Quant for the doll Daisy. Mary Quant was designing Daisy's clothes.
Right.
She sent me a message back saying she'd keep me in mind for the future. And that was when I was 7. So ever since then, I have never worked at anything else. It's like I was always drawing little fairies and, dresses and everything since I was that young. And then I applied for National College of Art in Dublin then when I left school, and I got that, and I did a 5-year degree course in fashion there. And then I went on and I did a master's in costume design in Russia after that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was, I'd never left home before. So that was a big jump from, I was totally backward little,
Absolutely. Why did you choose Russia?
Things sort of tend to come to me. I saw the advert for, a bursary to do a master's in Russia, and I thought I'll apply for it.
Right.
But I won't get it, so I don't have to worry about it. And I applied, and then I went, oh God, I've got it.
Wow.
I'm going to go to Russia. And I had, I think, 6 weeks of Russian lessons before I went.
Right.
And the whole class was all Russian people. There were no Irish people in the class. The teacher obviously spoke Russian and obviously no English. So it was an incredible, it was like throwing yourself into the fire. It was an incredible experience. I loved it. I mean, we lived on the 13th floor. They were called obsergitas. They were like flats of student accommodation. So you'd kind of make your way up and be drinking the vodka on the way up, meeting friends. And
that's right.
Yeah, but
say no more. I want to move to Russia then.
Yeah, well, I loved Russia. It was quite similar to Ireland, and Scottish people are the same as well. You know, there's a real culture and passion, and you know, the Bolshoi ballet is synonymous with style and creativity, and everything over there. The money, they created things out of no money. You know, it was pure magic what they did, and I was very, very inspired. I was rubbish at Russian, but I was really inspired by the place. Slavy, I think it's called, weak. I was very weak at Russian. So.
Right, because it was just 6 weeks before you got there, so you can't learn a language in 6 weeks. So you did well. Did you pass your exams?
I got a first class honours in. And
wow.
The funniest thing was in the masters, when I got the first class honours, the teacher made a big speech about me, and I hadn't a clue what she was saying. And afterward, because I was great, well, I wasn't great at work, but I loved doing the work, but I wasn't good at the Russian. So somebody told me afterwards, you've got a first class honours, and she made a point of saying how I'd done well, you know.
Exams, besides the practical exams.
Yeah, I didn't have to do Russian exams, as in the language. I had to do costumes and based costumes on, I think it was a Russian fantasy film about a woman who turns into a flock of birds. So it was right up my street.
Right.
But I learned to adapt there. I'm quite adaptable. I've found about myself. You can throw me anywhere and I'll sort of find a little niche somewhere.
Right. We were really, really pleased to see your collection at the Aberdeen Fashion Week. And then I had the opportunity of coming to Dublin and sharing a table with you. And there was this tall guy wearing your costume. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. I've never forgotten that.
That's Artur's Gastulik. He works with me, and the people who work with me are, God, we're like four legs of a table. You know, it's so important to work with people that you get on with and and he's 6'5" and I'm like 5'1", and walking down the road together, we just look like ridiculous, but we're kind of part of this little family. And he's brilliant, and he has a great eye, and he'll always tell me the truth about what I'm doing if he thinks it needs a change. And that's what you want, people that work with you that enhance parts of your business that you might not be as good at. So he'll be delighted you thought he looked well.
He looked great. What he was wearing was amazing. And yes, I was going to talk about the height. He was so tall, and you were like, you know, that was great.
Yeah. Sometimes he wears platform boots, which makes him nearly 7. I need a ladder to dress him. So, but he's fabulous, and he still works with me. So I'm looking forward to getting back into the shop with him.
Amazing. Yeah. Now, tell us about what you have at the back. Is that your shop?
This is my living room at the moment. These are they're kind of bags and things that I've been basically, and collars, you can probably see there. In lockdown, obviously the made-to-measure market didn't exist, and I had to start thinking of other ways of, you know, making things. And I found that bags and headpieces and collars and things that you didn't have to worry about measurements.
Exactly.
Really, people were, and a lot of people who never used to buy online were starting to buy online, and there was a huge market there. Like people say there was no business during lockdown. I don't believe that. I think there's a huge business. Older people learned to use the internet and learn to buy, and you're sitting at home fed up and you go, I think I'll buy, you know, a collar with a little cat on it, or a happy bag. And I gave them all little personalities and little quotes. And so that I've never done that before. I've worked with Anne Sora, who works with me in the shop as well, and we kind of created all these pieces. So every week I put up new accessories, and that's gone absolutely brilliant. Yeah, so it's totally new market. And I have been doing the made to measure for musicians and things during lockdown, because musicians are still doing online video performances.
Of course.
So I've done Eimear Noone, who I did for the Oscars. I did her outfit for the address to the White House for St. Patrick's Day. So that was incredible, but I didn't get to fit her or see her. So it's quite nerve-wracking making an outfit and not being able to
see somebody.
Yeah, and have those measurements. You just have to go ahead and hope for it. So, but
so do you make this as bespoke pieces, or do you make like so many of a particular type?
I never make more than one of something.
Oh, wow.
Which I think is lovely for people. And the accessories I try and keep under, the ready-to-wear under €100, so that everybody could afford something, and yet it's a one-off piece which has its own little personality, and I put my soul into it. When I started, before I opened the shop, I used to do, say, 40 of something, and it was very, very boring mass producing something, and the soul kind of got lost in it. Like you were just sort of like a factory churning out pieces. So now every single piece that I do, all the accessories, everything, they're all one off. And even if I do something similar, it'll be different for each person because everybody has a different shape. Some people like things with their sleeves so it's very special to me that each piece is unique.
It's unique.
Yeah, that means the world to me. And I would never change that either, because if I lost control of that, I'd have no joy in creating. What would be the point in, having a mass produced soulless collection? For me, it wouldn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Now tell us about who you've dressed. You were telling us bits and pieces before, but now you're going to tell us everybody, please.
Well, I mean, the very first, I never designed menswear before I designed for Nile Rodgers.
Right.
And I hated menswear, absolutely. I couldn't do menswear.
Right.
And a friend of mine sent pictures of my work to the girls from Chic.
Right.
They wore my clothes in Belfast, and Nile Rodgers, obviously the head of Chic, was performing and saw them in the outfits and said, "Where did you get those outfits?" And they said, "Well, we got them from this little Irish designer in Dublin." And so next thing, I got a phone call saying, would I design an outfit for him for the X Factor for the week later?
Right.
So I almost thought it was a joke. So I said, yeah, absolutely, I'll design an outfit for you. So I'd flown over to London and met him over there in his penthouse and had the jacket with me, and it was very nerve-wracking, and he loved it, thank God, and he wore that on the X Factor, and I was there at the X Factor watching him perform, which was pure magic. I was in his tour bus and there were people waving as well at him, so it was almost like I was part of the group, and after that, then I designed for him for the Oscars, which was just brilliant.
Oh, that's amazing.
It was incredible. It's very hard to know if he's going to wear, when you do something for somebody for the Oscars, there are so many huge designers who pay people to wear their stuff. And I wouldn't, I don't have that budget, and I kind of don't believe in that anyway. I think somebody should wear it if they love it, rather than, basically, I thought he's not going to wear it, but he wore one of mine for the Oscars on the red carpet. And then he changed into Louis Vuitton to have his dinner.
Right.
And then he changed into another one of mine for his performance later. So it was like, I was delighted. I had two of mine from him at the Oscars, which was just incredible, and we've had a great relationship ever since, as I said, him opening the shop and everything. So after that, then I got a call to do the judge for Dancing with the Stars Ireland, the male judge. And I've been doing that for the past 4 years. And he is Julian Benson. You probably don't know him, but he's this glitter he's called Judge Jules, and he's so spectacular and fancy and dramatic. So every week on television for 3 months, I would have a different jacket designed for him.
That's amazing.
So it was incredible. You'd be sitting there, you know, yeah, Christmas started in January for me when I'd be covered in glitter for his stuff. So that was, this year it was cancelled because of COVID, but hopefully next year it'll be back on again. But I love doing his outfits, and it's quite intense because it's one a week for 3 months.
Right.
So and I did Eimear Noone, which was incredible. She's the first female conductor of the Oscars last year. And she conducted the Oscars wearing I had done this gold outfit for her, and you're just sitting there watching her going, oh my God, when you see, you know, you see her there, and Tom Cruise is standing up, giving a standing ovation to her, and you're like,
that's my dress. That's my costume.
It's almost surreal to think that.
And just imagine.
You know, because it's not as if, you know, I kept true to what I love doing, and to see those people wearing my pieces because they want to wear them. And I've had a great relationship with Eimear Noone since then. We've done pieces for her for the BAFTAs and all sorts of different, you know, things as well. So, yeah, I mean, between them.
You look so good wearing your clothes, Lady Gaga.
Well, you know, so that
look amazing, because your clothes are sort of the type of clothes that she likes to wear. Yeah,
well, that's kind of another reason, you know, that I applied for the grant for the Met Gala as well, because Met Gala has always been a dream of mine to do. Like, I've been lucky to have had stuff in the Oscars and the X Factor and all sorts of different. So the Met Gala, I've actually got drawings behind me now that I'm sending off to somebody tomorrow for it, but obviously I can't show them to you. But I
know. Can you tell us who you are making the dress for, or is it no?
I can't. I wish. I'm in conversations with somebody at the moment, and it's almost mind pinching me. I have no idea how I ended up in these conversations with this person, but the drawings, I have to now send the drawings on. They basically really liked my work, and now I have to send the drawings of what I envisaged them wearing to the Met Gala. So I'm sending them off tomorrow. So fingers crossed, the first hurdle is gone, so hopefully they will like them. So last night and yesterday and all week drawing them and rubbing them out, and it's very exciting, you know.
It's very exciting, not just for you, for the whole world, really, especially people who know you, you know.
I've come on a journey with everybody else as well. I mean, the photographers I work with, they make my work extra special. Like Lelia Millerai is an amazing photographer that I work with. The makeup artists, there's so many of them. It's not just my work, it's what other people do with my work. The models that become characters, and I do all sorts of different size models. I don't believe that a model should be, you know, a size 6. I think you can be a size 6 and be beautiful, but you can be a size 20 and be beautiful.
Exactly.
Ethnicities, it just, you know, it should be everybody should be able to wear your clothes. It shouldn't be an elitist thing.
This is what I say too. Yes.
Yeah. And gender fluid, you know, if a man wants to wear a dress, if whoever wants to wear something, wear it and wear it with pride, and it's your life. And and that's what I try to bring to people, that hopefully the confidence. So, you know, all the photos that I've sent off to this person have been a collaboration of different people who've helped me and worked with me, and I've been blessed to work with them, you know.
Amazing. That's
it is almost dreamlike sometimes, you know. So hopefully I can bring back something to them as well. And, you know, I'm hoping maybe to have a big fashion show after all of this. And the great thing about the Met Gala grant as well is I'm like an artist in residence in a school here.
For
the year. So the students will be able to see me making the Met Gala outfit.
Amazing.
And I'm hoping that they'll be able to help me a little bit as well. So it'll be almost, after so long of being in COVID containment, that all these people will come together. It's Joseph Clooney School in Killiney, and all these kids maybe can help me. And maybe if it, hopefully when it makes it to the Met Gala, they'll be sitting there at home watching as well as me watching, and saying, look, I did that little bit, or, you know, I had a part in that. So that's very important to me, that it's not just mine, it's not just me doing it, it's a collaboration. And I'm sure that those teenagers will give me ideas as well as I'm working away on it. So we're hoping to film the whole year, the whole process of from the breakdowns of starting off making it to hopefully, fingers crossed, a happy ending.
How long do you think you will take to make this? Is it going to take the whole year, or just?
It's going to be a year-long project.
Oh, wow, it's going to be a beautiful dress.
It has to be the best piece I've ever made, because I've been given the money to create it, and I owe it to people who have invested in it not to let them down. It absolutely has to be 100 times better than no pressure, than anything I've ever made. And I really, really want it to be almost like my most iconic piece. So it's going to be huge, amazing. Like big as in the Met Gala stairs are so long. So I have to do something that's going to really cover the stairs. And so being an artist in residence in the school, I have my own huge art room. So it'll be in there, and I've also been given the money to ship it over to America. So that's
amazing.
It's going to cost a lot to get something that size.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's all, I can see it in my head. So hopefully what I can see in my head will become reality within the year.
Amazing. Now, what materials do you like using normally?
I love using pretty and hard together. So like I wear docks, and yeah, I'll wear a little frilly little collar. So I love maybe leather and combining leather with lace, or leathers and chiffons. I love embroidery. I love color. I can't leave a fabric alone. I have to layer loads of different textures, and it's almost like a sculpture in the end, rather than I think somebody said, take something off before you leave the house, because to do minimalism, I'm put something else on to leave the house. I'm minimalism isn't in my vocabulary. I'm like Liberace. More to me is better, and I just love embellishment. I don't even know, like when I do these sketches that I've done, when I start the outfit, it will probably create its own, become something slightly different, because as you're working on it, I've broken my arm twice from working on my outfits, because I was on a chair once working on one and I forgot I was on the chair. I was so engrossed in creating the outfit that I fell off the chair and broke my arms. So I get very involved in it. So my husband is like, he's so glad that COVID is here, because I'm at home and I can't break my arm, and I can't, I'm safe here.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Wow. So there's so many viewers watching you right now and saying, wow, you are lucky the universe is on your side. What can you tell them? What can you tell anyone who wants to be either a costume designer, a fashion designer, or an artist?
Just believe it in yourself. And when I started, people told me my work was way too theatrical. I was supplying shops and they said, you should do palazzo pants and tops and mass production. You can't do things that way. And when I opened my own shop, I realized that that's not true, that if you follow your own path, the right people will come to you. It's almost like a snowball effect. If I tried to do palazzo pants and commercial pieces, I couldn't do them as well as somebody who's really good at that. Exactly. You can only do what you do well. And if you can try and do it to the best of your ability. The menswear I bring in what I do to the women's wear into the menswear. That's the only way I can do anything. I have to do it in my way. And I've been lucky never to compromise. So don't compromise and follow your heart. And I swear to God, it might take time, but it will work. And people will see the soul in your work and believe it, you know.
You know, what you're saying is absolutely great, because some people want to copy what other people are doing.
It doesn't work. Well, funny, I had this, in the shop, this old lady came into the shop with this little sort of strange wheelbarrow thing. And she said, I just wanted to show you that I've copied your dress in the window. And I wanted to show it to you. So it was very strange. She came into the shop with this replica, which wasn't really a replica of my outfit, and said, what do you think? And I said, yeah, no, it's lovely and that, but you can never copy somebody else's work.
No.
It never, ever worked. I mean, that was a lovely old woman, and it was a very sweet thing, but there are people who copy to try and make money, and there's no point in that, because it's a watered down version of something.
Exactly.
I always say to people, if you're good at sewing, if that's your skill, concentrate on style lines in your jackets, concentrate on, you know, cuffs. If I'm good at texture and color, and that's what I concentrate on. And I have an amazing Aunt Sora, who's a seamstress and pattern cutter, and Mary Daly, who works with me, who are much better at that part of the work than me. So find people in your team that can bring you up as well.
But before they have the teams, let them concentrate on their own designs.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Just follow. Absolutely. I never worked for anybody, and people always said, how could you not have worked for anybody? But I think once you work for somebody and you get used to that money and you get used to that sense of life, it's very hard then to start up on your own. So exactly. I had nothing to lose from the start. I just went off. I started off really, really small in markets and very small shops. I got a grant. I had this little premises up about 10 floors in Dublin before I got the shop. Right. So it wasn't just as if I turned around and said, yeah, I'll get a shop. I was renting as well for 20 years, which was very hard at times. Yes. And then to finally buy it, like if I can buy my shop, if I can do it, anybody can do it if they follow their dreams. This is, you know, so.
Wow, amazing. So how many people work with you making?
I have 4 people who work with me in the shop. Right. And I have Anne Sora and Mary Daly, who are the machinists and the pattern cutters, and Arturas Gastilik as well, who's brilliant, and Lelia Millerai, who does the photography and the styling. So we have little parties in the well, we haven't recently, but normally we'd have little parties in the shop and dress up at Halloween, and it's a real, like, they love the clothes as well, and they love that you have to have people who work with you that you love what they do and they love what you do. And it's like we socialize together as well, and you know, we rarely fight, or you know, if you go to my Instagram, you'd see all photos of them because they're my friends.
Right.
And I went through a long process of having different seamstresses and people, but it didn't gel or it didn't work, you know. So once you find people, I mean, Mary has worked with me for 20 years now, which is, and the others for a long time as well. So it's really important to find people like that as well. So it's a real team, and they come with me to fashion shows, and our tourist is helping lacing up the backs, and you know. Yeah, so
those dresses are very complex. They need a lot of work done before a model can wear them.
I always think I wish I could just design minimalist black zip up, but everything of mine is like it. And my clothes always look like a big bomb has hit the catwalk. There's so many bits to them.
They are beautiful.
Yeah, well, thank you. But there's like, you're there for about 3 hours. That's why when I broke my arm, it wasn't great for lacing up the corsets.
Exactly.
Yeah, I actually learned to work with the other hand. So I can now embroider with both hands. So there's a positive in every negative.
Right. Amazing. Yeah. Amazing. Wow. That's great.
Yeah, you have to find a positive in, you know. So.
Right. Besides the celebrities coming to you, who normally comes to buy your dresses?
Everybody, well, I don't mean everybody, but we do arrange, you know, I do a lot of 21st and birthday parties, and I've had 21st, the very first 21st I had when I opened the shop. I knew I had done the right thing. She came into me and she said, you know, I want to be a tree for my 21st.
Wow.
And I was like, yes, brilliant. You want to be a tree, fantastic. And so then I did her 21st. Now it was like a corset that looked like a tree. So it wasn't, you know, an actual tree. But yes, then she would put her pictures up on Instagram. And then from that, her friends saw that. And then I have done hundreds of 21st from a girl who wanted to be a ballet dancer, where we did a big key in her back.
Nice.
Huge big butterflies. I've done the Berlin Show Orchestra as well. I designed for the entire Berlin Show Orchestra.
Wow, amazing.
So that was incredible. I was flown over to Germany. And Angel Strings were part of the orchestra, and they flew playing their violins upside down.
Oh, wow.
Way up in the sky. So yes. You're there thinking, you're hoping that the outfit is secure and nothing is going to come off. And then you had the Mrs. Toms, who were the drummers in the Berlin Show Orchestra. And they were like these warrior women. And I had no fittings beforehand. And there was like, I don't know, there was so many of them in the Berlin Show Orchestra. They just kept coming. And I kept dressing. But it was incredible to watch the performance and to be there in Germany and see them all form. I mean, that was just pure magic. I went with a friend of mine, Cassandra O'Connell, who's at this stage kind of my business manager, because I'm so disorganized. She's like, I'd leave my suitcase and walk off and forget about it. And so if I go anywhere, she helps me. Yeah, she always holds my passport as well. And, you know, I have a lot of good friends that look out for me. So, yeah, that was, but I have an old lady as well who comes in, and she's been coming for years, and we have a special chair for her in the shop when she comes, and we measure her in the chair, and we've done brides, and then they've had children, and we've done the christening gown out of the bridal gown, and then that child's, then we did her communion dress out of the rest of the bridal gown. So it's like whole families, which is lovely as well. You know, you create a relationship with people.
Yes, of course.
And that they keep coming back to you. And that's the thing, because they're always going to get something different. And I'm always going to put 110%. I'd be lying in bed at night thinking, oh, that wasn't right. Or, you know, and my aim is every fitting, they have to go away happy. Even if there's a problem, it's up to me to solve that myself without them knowing, and make sure that in the end they go away happy. And that's more important. Doesn't matter if you're a celebrity or you're, you know, a regular person, whoever you are, I have to give, it's very important that they're happy.
Very best.
Yeah. So that's
amazing.
That's the most fulfilling. I mean, I get all sorts of cards from people and presents and photos, and I got pancake mix from a girl for a present, which was, I told her I like pancakes. So it's lovely to get that's the most rewarding part about making one-off pieces, is you get to see the person behind it. It's not like pennies where people are just buying the stuff and piling them in, and it's a very personal, and people come to you for weddings. And I had one girl who came to me for her wedding, and she hadn't got a partner. She just wanted a wedding dress. So
I don't understand.
She said that eventually she will find somebody. Now, I tried to persuade her not to get the wedding dress before she met the guy.
Wow.
She decided she wanted the wedding dress. So I really hope now, this was 10 years ago, that she's found somebody and she was able to wear that dress. So look, why not? If it's a dream you have. I mean, I tried to persuade her just to get a fantasy dress, but no, she wanted the white. So it's probably in her wardrobe somewhere waiting for the right occasion.
What people do actually, with I'm spiritual, so I will tell you this, what people do, especially with their vision boards, they want to get married. The first step is to buy that dress. So she must have been spiritual.
Yeah, actually, do you know, it's a visual thing. Yeah, it's like almost The Secret or something. If you believe in something, if you manifest it,
yes,
it will come. So hopefully
she got married.
Yeah, maybe she'll come into the shop now when I open back up and tell me, and I'll be able to tell the happy ending to the story. But she loved the dress. It was a lovely journey anyway. So,
right.
So fingers crossed.
Now, tell us about the wedding dresses you make. I have a model who is also a friend of mine who got married 2 years ago, and she was wearing this long black dress. Mm-hmm. It was beautiful. But I'd never seen anyone get married in a black dress. So do you make the white dresses or different types?
I do all sorts of different dresses. I mean, we do same-sex marriages now, obviously, pagan weddings.
Yes.
I had a girl who met her husband in Chile, and she wanted her dress made out of chili peppers, real chili peppers. Yeah. So I collected the chili peppers and cut them up, and my eyes were streaming down but I dried them and made a bodice out of the chili peppers.
Even that smell itself, you just...
Oh my, I mean, I've said this before, you're supposed to cry at a wedding, not while you're making the dress. I was literally streaming down trying to...
I hope you did enough.
Yeah. So it was, I think she went on a motorcycle to her wedding as well.
Oh,
in
wow.
her chili pepper dress. And we've done all sorts of unusual brides. Red is a very popular color.
Right.
We've done so many. And second chance marriages where somebody is getting married for the second time. So they don't want a white dress. They want something that maybe they can wear again. And beach weddings were very, very popular as well. So my own wedding, I had docks on when I got married.
Right.
And we had just moved into a new house before I got married. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to think of what I would do for my wedding dress. Mm-hmm. And I looked up in our new house, and there were these chandeliers up on the ceiling. Like, no, it's not a fancy house, just kind of old chandeliers.
Right.
And I thought those little bits would be fabulous on my dress. So I started plucking them off chandeliers.
Wow.
And eventually one day my husband-to-be came in and said, "Where have the chandeliers gone?" Because it was like every last bit I put on the bodice of my dress.
I bet it's beautiful.
So I chinked up the aisle with my chandelier dress on me.
Fair enough. It was your day,
Yeah, well, that's it, so I could see something anywhere. Like, I mean, we did a dress for a girl for, she was nominated for Vegas Awards for, I think, Cuckoo for Best Short Film or something.
Right.
And I made the dress out of cocktail stirrers.
Oh, wow.
And I put a straw in it. So when she won, which thank God she won, she was able to drink her drink out of the bodice.
Amazing.
So it was perfect for Vegas.
Wow.
Because it was a real quirky event.
Yes. Vegas has things which are quite different but amazing.
Yeah, well, that's it. So really, people don't really come to me if somebody comes to me for something simple that I really don't think I can do as well as somebody else, I won't, there's no point in me taking it on for the money.
Right.
It's more important to suggest somebody else if I don't feel I can do
exactly
the best job for them. So most, even when people come into the shop, there's fairy lights all over the place, and they know what type of shop it is the minute they walk in. It's
right.
It's not minimalist in any way. So I usually get unusual requests, and that makes it, people bring in trinkets. And I had a lady recently who's dying who wants me to make her outfit for her funeral so that she can look a certain way for that. So that's a very personal, private thing.
Yes, but amazing, really.
Yeah, it's very, I'm blessed that people would trust me with things like that.
That's the right word. It's a blessing, actually.
Yeah, there's so many things like that that just mean the world to you, that, you know, I almost feel like I could write a book on all the strange and interesting people I've met.
You should.
Having the shop.
You should.
Yeah, you should write one as well. We'll launch them together.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So if anyone, I don't want us to stop talking about your pieces, about your collection, about everything, but I know you're busy. If anyone wanted to see all these pieces we've been talking about, your photos, or contact you for an address, how can they get you?
They can, Claire Garvey shop at hotmail.com is my email. My Instagram is where I put most of my work up now. So that's Claire Garvey Designer. I'm on Twitter as well. I'm not great at Twitter, but I'm on it. That's Claire Garvey Designer as well. And I'm on Facebook as Claire Garvey or Claire Garvey Designer. So I'm on pretty much. Instagram is my favorite though, because you can just upload, and I tend to put everything I've done up there first of all before I do anything. My website is there, but it's more Instagram that I use. I think most people use that more now anyway.
Most people shop Instagram and Amazon. That's where people shop from nowadays.
That's it. You know, Instagram is just so, you're bombarded with pictures and visuals, and that's what I love about that, you know. So it's easy. It's a bit addictive. So I turn the phone off when I'm working, because I'm literally, otherwise I'm going, oh look, there's this or this, that, you know. So I need to concentrate on a bit of music and a glass of wine, and I'm happy.
What kind of music do you like?
Oh God, I love Kate Bush and all sorts of Gothic music. I was a Gothic years ago, I suppose, you know, with the black clothes and the used to go to all the Gothic clubs with the dry ice and the smoke and the Cure and the Damned and all those. But I love any type of music really, because I'm involved with so many different musicians and opera singers and things that I would have never have thought I would have liked. Now watching and knowing people, the skill that goes into it. I mean, I didn't actually know Nile Rodgers' music until a friend of mine brought me to a chic gig, which is mortifying because, you know, he's so big. So, and now I realize, you know, he's done stuff for Madonna and he's done stuff for Duran Duran and everybody. I mean, he's huge. So I think you have to be open to all sorts of different music. The Berlin Show Orchestra music I loved as well, but my own Gothic roots are probably, I used to wear little white communion dresses with docks when I was like 20. And my husband is totally different to me, and he's like, Claire, what are you wearing? Because he's quite conservative, and but it's a good match. So
yes, of course.
Opposites definitely attract.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, well, that's it. I couldn't handle if he was the same as me. I'm mental enough. I need a bit of stability in my life, and he's also my accountant, which helps.
Oh, wow, that's good.
Yes. So
that
worked out.
Do you have any last words you can tell our viewers today?
Just as I said, if somebody like me can make a living from what they're doing and end up buying their shop and hopefully having a piece at the Met Gala, send all positive vibes for me for this week with my drawings. If I can do it, anybody can. Just follow what you believe in. Don't listen to people who say you can't do it, because you can, and the paths will open up for you somehow if you just believe in it enough. If you want it enough, it will happen.
It will happen. Sending positive vibes, obviously, and or you will do it. There is no reason why you can't do it.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah. So we're going to wind up here. Oh, I don't want to go. I'm so talking to you, and there's so many questions that are there, but maybe we can have a part 2, and you will tell us how far the dress is coming. Though obviously you won't discuss about it, but you can tell us what you're doing and how, you know, all those things.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully at the end you'll be able to see the final.
You'll see.
Final piece, you know. So
in New York.
Yes, exactly. I wish I could tell you more, because so much has happened in the last week. It's really that, you know, a week ago, it was, but now so much has happened this week that is just blooming great. So
that's amazing. That's amazing. And I am so happy that I've met you face to face in person. And not just once. So I'm really lucky because I can just tell people I met her and that is her dress.
Oh, look, I'm delighted to have met you so many times as well. And being in Aberdeen Fashion Week was a wonderful experience as well. You. Very extravagant and fabulous models and beautiful makeup artists, and really wonderful. I loved every minute of it. So
thank you so much.
It was definitely a wonderful experience for me.
Thank you. Oh, our models are beautiful.
Oh, they're the nicest models as well. I'm still in contact with 1 or 2 of them on Instagram and that, and they're just genuine people as well as beautiful models, and that's so important. And there was no divas. There was no. They just got on with the work, and they were fantastic.
Exactly. Wow. I know they'll be watching these models. So you are loved by Claire. Thank you so much.
No, it's the truth. So it's the truth. So, and they made my job much easier as well, because I was, you're terrified going over with your collection and
exactly.
And they made it so easy, and everything was seamless. So
thank you so much. That's amazing. Oh, that was then, but now we've been improving. Actually, we've been trying our best to get to have the best way to look after our designers. But thank you, that's great.
Well, that's it. Everything gets even better, hopefully, as you go along.
Exactly.
I mean, I've been 20 years working, and hopefully any mistake I've made, I've learned from it, and I've built on it, and I know I'm more confident now than I have ever been. I don't like the word confidence because it's different to arrogance. I have it, confidence is important, and it's taken me years to get that, but that's through experience, and it's very important to believe that you can do something.
Yes.
So
yes,
I look forward to seeing your next show as well.
Yes, definitely. We have a digital showcase next month.
Fantastic. Yes.
So hopefully you can watch and see how it goes.
Yeah, it'll be brilliant, and that's the way now. Everything is digital at the moment. Yes. So I'm looking forward to getting back out and having a meal outside, and I think hopefully, as I said, lockdown here is finishing mid-May, fingers crossed, and we'll be able to, because everything is closed here. So
in the UK it's next week, so all pubs are fully booked until December.
That's it. Everybody is going mad to get out, and so I mean, I live right next door to a park, so I'm lucky in that way. A huge park next door to me, so I can escape to the park. Yeah. Yes. The weather was nice yesterday, and so we were able to have a barbecue outside, and so things like that, little things like that, make your life happy when you're confined like this. So definitely. My husband will be delighted to get me out of the living room and all my work out of the living room back into the shop as well. So he'll get the living room back.
Right, of course. Once you go back to the shop.
That's it. Yeah. No more glitter.
That's nice. Thank you so much. It's been amazing.
Absolute pleasure talking to you, and you're looking forward to seeing your showcase.
Okay, thank you.
That's brilliant.
Bye for now.
Thanks a million. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.